I'm Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery. Welcome to Stop Drinking Alcohol 81. So here we are back in the land of the Stop Drinking Alcohol. Just a couple of things. My son is over next week, so there won't be any videos for the next couple of weeks. But I'll still be around, so if you've got any questions at all, you can catch me via email at kevin@alcoholmastery.com. Some of the changes I want to make in the next couple of next few weeks, over the next few weeks and months. First off, I'm going to buy a new camera in the next couple of weeks. Nothing fancy or anything like that. It's a step up from the iPhone camera that I've been using over the last couple of years. I think the cameras on this iPhone in particular is on its last legs anyway. So the only problem with this new camera is that it's going to be a bit too heavy to work with while I'm walking. So I love shooting videos outdoors, so I'm going to try and continue that. But most of the time the videos are going to be static, just in one spot. So I hope they don't get too boring. But it's the content that counts, and I think I'll be able to deliver better quality content if I'm standing in one spot. I'll go for the odd ramble every so often, but the iPhone's not going to go away just yet. So I'm also going to be expanding the video segments. I don't know if you remember back to the beginning. Something that I did at the beginning was I had the tip of the week. I had different segments like that, and these sort of segments will be tips and tricks that you can implement right now. Things that should help you to have the confidence in your own abilities, your thinking, to take the action steps. And as I've done before, I'll separate the videos into separate sections, as well as putting them onto YouTube as the complete SDA session, if that makes any sense. So here's the tip of the week this week. Now, we all know what self-control is, right? And we all know that in order to achieve success in quitting drinking, you need to have a certain amount of self-control. But what about other people's self-control? Now, why am I asking you about how other people can control themselves? What has this got to do with you and your self-control? Well, this stemmed from an email that I received during the week about this person was envious that other people could drink one or two drinks and be completely satisfied with what they'd had. And it just got me thinking about the dangers of looking at other people and what they're doing in their lives and how they're drinking and how they're acting and stuff. And there's a few reasons for my concern. First, you don't really know that they're really satisfied with what they've had to drink. For all intents and purposes, they might be telling you one thing and completely thinking something different. We never know what goes on behind the closed doors of another person's life. So don't assume that just because a person is drinking only a couple of drinks in front of you, that this is their drinking level. They might be drinking that amount in public. They might only be drinking one or two because, they've got to drive, or they've just got other things to do and they can't have those drinks now. But once they get home, they whip out the bottles and go on the lash. You just don't know. The second reason is that you're looking at them from your perspective, which puts your sort of gloss on things. Now, what I mean by this is that you're judging them from the perspective of someone who can really appreciate the damage, the physical damage or the mental damage that large amounts of alcohol can cause. Is drinking one or two drinks a good thing? In a 2014 World Health Organization report, they said that one or two drinks every day can actually cause serious illness. So everything's changing. The risks of liver cancer, cirrhosis, and many other deadly conditions are being sort of highlighted now with just one or two drinks. The third reason is because there are many people out there that don't drink for pleasure. They drink because they feel they have to drink. We all know people who don't like the taste of alcohol, but they drink it because they're with other people that are drinking and they don't want to feel left out, you know. We all know people who don't like to drink. They don't like the taste of the drink. They don't like to drink it. They don't like how it makes them feel in the moment. And they certainly don't like the hangovers that they get in the day after. You know, they're not coming from the same perspective as you. You know, nobody is. You're on your own perspective. Everyone's got their own perspective. If you don't like doing something but you do it anyway, what does that say about you? You know, if you're drinking just for the sake of being socializing, you're taking a drug just for the sake of socializing, you know. And the bottom line is that you've always got to focus on yourself, on your behavior, on your behavior and your actions. I know that it can seem like other people have got it good, that the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. There's an image on the website that I'm going to put on the website to go along with this post of this cow, and it's kneeling down on the ground and it's poking its head through this barbed wire fence, stretching out to eat this grass that by all intents and purposes looks exactly the same as the grass that's on its own side behind it, you know. And it looks really painful. This cow is stretching, I mean the barbed wire is stretching across its chest and surely digging into its chest and its neck as it's straining to reach this piece of grass, you know. And I always remember my grandmother talking about how she would have loved to have done a lot more traveling in life than she actually did. And she used to talk about some of the places she would have liked to have visited. You know, she talked about places like China and Tibet, Russia, Vietnam, and South America. And she used to play this card game called Bridge. I don't know how to play it, but she travelled a lot over to America, from Ireland to America, to go to tournaments, even into her late 70s. But I always wondered what she would have been like if she was born today. You know, would she have thrown a few maps into a backpack and, you know, took the first flight she could get to some really exotic place, you know? And where would she have gone? What would she have seen? You know, who would she have met? My grandmother always lived in Dublin. And I always wondered if she ever dreamed about moving to a different city or to a different country even. Now, we all live in a world where that is possible and more. Everyone can get onto a plane. All you have to do is look on the internet, on Facebook, on Twitter, YouTube, all over the blogosphere, and you'll see examples of people of all ages and from all walks of life who are just living out their dreams. Now, personally, I love living in the one spot. I do want to travel. I like traveling. I think it's something that most people want to do. But as a child, my family moved a lot. My father would move, you know, he'd take us from one place to another because he often couldn't find work. When he was young, he was trained as a bookbinder. It's a craft which has slowly dwindled over the years, and you know it's alive still, but it's only alive in little niche markets. And you know, he found work where he could. You know, one time he was a double-decker bus driver. He's been a window cleaner, a salesman, making boxes. He was a lathe operator and a builder. And they're just some of the jobs that I know about. So we'd spend a couple of years here and a couple of years there, and it was an adventure for a kid to go to new cities, you know, or you know, to new countries. We moved from Ireland to England, but I hated having to go to new schools, to get used to all these different teachers, new teachers, and to leave all my mates and make new ones. It was totally horrible. I hated it. But my point is that everyone has their own perspective in life, and you know, the grass is not always greener on the other side of the fence. Much of the time we're looking at the things we should be doing or not doing and seeing other people who are doing what we want to be doing, or other people who can seemingly avoid they haven't got the problems that we've got. And we sort of get depressed about it, you know. And we think, why can't I be more like them? You know, we want what they have. You already know what the answer is. You know, when you look at other people, you're just scratching the surface. In some cases, you're not even doing that. You know, we've all heard about the comparison that we're like an iceberg, that only the tip is showing above the surface of the water to the outside world, and the majority of our thoughts and our actions are playing out beneath the surface. And you don't know what's going on in someone else's mind. You can only know what is going on in your own mind. And this is where you need to focus most of your attention. You'll never get to where you want to be in life if you're constantly derailing your own thoughts about how it must be like, you know, how good it must be to be able to be somebody else or to do something like another person can do it. The only way to have a good life, full of happiness and mind health, is to focus on the life you have and to deal with it, warts and all. I think it was the Buddha that said that you should learn to want what you have instead of what you don't have. So as you go through these videos, I hope that I'm making the case that it's important to remember that the excitement, the happiness and the contentment that we all want in our life doesn't come from life itself. It comes from deep within. It comes from our deep-seated talent at acknowledging, enjoying and celebrating what we already have in our lives. So that was Stop Drinking Alcohol 81. I want to leave you with this. One of my favourite authors is Tim Ferriss. He wrote The 4-Hour Workweek and a few other books. And he said that I value self-discipline, but creating systems that make it next to impossible to misbehave is more reliable than self-control. And this is what we are all about. This is what alcohol mastery is all about. It's about learning the skills and creating systems to deal with our own lives. If you can make some simple changes step by step and concentrate on the processes, on just the overall process instead of the big end goal, that you'll go a long way. So anyway, here's a plug. So plug your ears if you don't want to listen to this. If you would like to support the website and the free videos, you can do so by going to the Alcohol Mastery website and purchasing one of our products. The URL, which is down below, is alcoholmastery.com/store. There's some books there, audiobooks, and there's going to be some upcoming video courses. So thank you for watching. I hope you found something useful in there. Until next time, I'm Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery. Onwards and upwards.